This is an open letter to Uncle Sam, and I hope, Uncle Sam, that I don't get shocked because of this video by by God knows whom. I've offended everybody. Here's the thing, Uncle Sam. Every day, more people, more institutions, more entities. Every day, more entities are going into, the naughty list. Your naughty list, Uncle Sam. The people who manage your business, Uncle Sam, keep pushing more and more entities into your naughty list. Considering you, Uncle Sam, would be a Santa Claus kind of figurehead. Your managers are your elves, which is, I guess, the system, the establishment. They're putting more and more people, entities, into their naughty list. And both claim legitimacy. Both, the fight is sometimes so interesting that it becomes literally Santa Claus-like, a clown-like idea of whether Santa Claus was black or white. As simple as that. Santa Claus was black or white. Because the two sides, the side that already had established Santa Claus as pink skin, does not want to relinquish that right to have Jesus be pink skin, have Santa Claus be pink skin, have everything good and everything nice be pink skin. And yeah, we did have Hitler and and Stalin, and they're both pink skins. Yeah. Yada. But the point is this. The objective is to sort of like, no, we didn't do anything wrong, although we know there were Redskins living here, but, shit happens. They got squashed. So the whole point becomes just, see no evil, hear no evil. And the point is, and if anybody is in the way, becomes a barrier to naming everything after oneself, naming everything after oneself. There's a point at which you see that sort of like Iraq, the way it was run, is not what we recognize as government or what we recognize as acceptable order. So therefore we're going to put the screws on 20 years of sanctions and embargo until we can break this order and build them and try to build them in a shape like us. Are they us? Are they us? These are, people with hundreds of thousands of years of ecosystem there. Carefully managed, carefully enforced ecosystems. Each valley has got their own ecosystem. In Afghanistan, it's the modern day valley of the kings. It's each one has their own ecosystem. Each valley has their own ecosystem with their own religious and ethnic identity. So and they all will fight each other over nothing. It's just in the nature of the beast over there. They fight each other over nothing. They kill each other over nothing. But if they do it with the weapons that they can make themselves, they would be killing each other with, knives and forks. That's where their technology is. But to tell them that no, but you know what, we're going to sell arms. If you can come up with the money, we sell you arms, very sophisticated arms. You can blow each other's ass up to dust, and they sell them to both sides. And right now there was a fight between the French and Uncle Sam, that who has the right to sell what to whom. Submarines to Australia. Fuck you. We have the right to. So it has become this very selfish. All knives are out. The Chinese knife is out, and the Russian knife is out, and the Venezuelan knife is out, and everybody's knife is out, and the French knife is out, and the British knife was out. The British just finished 2 aircraft carriers. I'm sure with a lot of help from Uncle Sam. But the point is this, that why the knives are out? Why the knives are out? I mean, you can ask an alien. I'm sure aliens are watching you. You can ask an alien to be the judge of every situation. Who has what right? You can't accuse an alien to be, taking sides. Obviously you can't, we as human beings, obviously we cannot, govern ourselves in a way that 3 million people die over there because of bombings and killings, and 2 million people over there die over there because it's a Wild West with no gun regulations, with very little gun regulations, so people just kill each other in the streets. Over there they kill each other in wars, and over here they kill each other in their streets. And you're wondering, who's doing this? Who's doing this? Why it's being done, and why so many entities are declared enemy so often, and more every day. Sort of like just for one thing, China. I keep seeing that especially American Uncle Sam, I love you, man, but your judiciary, it seems, has become more and more aggressive towards other jurisdictions. The legislature body of your system, Uncle Sam, has become more and more aggressive towards others. It's sort of like China was good as long as they took our money and made the shit that we wanted, but not as a equal partner, or not even it has to be a subordinate position. And we were successful forcing the Russians in Soviet Union into submissive position, and they crumbled. And and now we have to face the Chinese until they crumble, and the Chinese have to face us until we crumble. Oh, it's rather silly. I mean, if you go the way of Elon Musk and say, dude, there is a whole bunch of, you want dirt, or you want minerals, or whatever the fuck else you want, they're all up there. You can get as much as you want. There is planetary body, beside the planets that we see, there are planetary bodies, and there are asteroid belts that is just full of minerals, full of everything. All the riches that you want is up there. This fucking piece of dirt that we have on Earth, it's sacred just because of the blood that has already spilled on it. Human blood and animal blood. We are fucking violent. With all the blood-soaked earth that there is, I think, you should stop soaking it more. And stop, trying to defend arbitrary line on the ground. I mean, here's the thing. I don't know what to say. It's like these paranoia that there is, that is created because paranoia sells weapons, very expensive weapons. Paranoia pays for research and development of such weapons and associated industries. Yes, the paranoia is paying for all of this. But it's a destructive, stupid way of going about doing things. It's like all our industry is based on paranoia. And whatever we build as weapons because we are paranoid and aggressive, later on we use in industry, we find civilian use for it. But all the new research and development is just military money. All the new research and development, because apparently, this concept of want to be alive at any cost, the concept of no, I should have more children than you, therefore I'm going to somehow, eliminate you so there would be more of me running around in 100 years time. I'm not sure if I want to be running around right now. Why think that no, you're so important that you should be running around in 100 years from now at the expense of the guy from Fallujah? It's not kosher. It's not logical. It's not. It's a fight over territory, and there is lots of territory. Even Earth itself is 90% unoccupied. 90% is unoccupied. 90% of the land is unoccupied. You set aside farming. 90% of the land is 99% unoccupied. You include farming, it's sort of like 97% unoccupied. The idea is that you're shooting at each other over the size of penises. I got bigger, mine is bigger or yours is bigger. My people can withstand more shit than your people can withstand. So we don't eat and we don't teach and we don't have health care, but we have big penises. In the form of, missiles and that's why all the local shitheads around the world, they're trying to get more missiles, bigger missiles, because they want to have a big deck too. Here's the thing, folks, this whole idea of why everybody's getting armed, because we are getting armed, we are getting aggressive. They're getting aggressive because we are getting aggressive. Because the leadership, here's my point to you folks who talk of Uncle Sam's leadership. Yes, Uncle Sam would be a great leader, would be greatly could be a great leader, but hasn't so far. I mean, a great leader is a leader that entities follow you by choice, not by force. A great leader, even in terms of nations, even in terms of nations, a good nation to be a leader is a nation that people follow, entities, other nations follow by choice, not by force. I mean, and what happens is the legislature of Uncle Sam that, unfortunately, here's a confession for my friends in the FBI. I hope it can't be used against me because it was such a small amount. But I donated $5 to Bernie Sanders' campaign, just out of principles, not to influence anything or anywhere, but just, you know, as a token of appreciation. But then you sit back and you think, okay, $5 is not, if it was pay to play, which we are in under that system. It's a pay to play system. It says if you pay enough, you can, you know, run advertisement on behalf of your friend, the guy you want to become, you know, the elected, go to the elected office. So you like the guy, he's your friend. Obviously you don't, you know, run ads in favor of your enemy, you run ads in favor of your friend. So if you consider him as a friend and you're very rich, you can run ads all day long in favor of your friends and just make him up to be like God, the Son of God. Jesus himself is running this year as president. So for you know, presidents for Senate. Well, Jesus himself is running. So you can make up that person through advertisement to, you know, smell of roses, or hide bad evidence and expose good evidence to, you know, again, you can do a lot of things that, you know, a lot of things that money can do. You can do. So, but the point is this. So the upper limit, there is no upper limit. So you start from a lower limit is $5. $5 if you pay to X's campaign, you might not even get it, you know. You have to watch them on TV. Okay, if you pay $50, maybe you get to go to a rally. And if you pay $50 and, you know, drive 6 hours, you may see the guy by buying a ticket, your guy, the guy you consider a friend, as a, you know, candidate. You get to see your guy if you pay $50 for the ticket. Now if you pay $5,000 for a plate of food at a black tie event, you may get a hi, how are you FaceTime with whoever is supposed to be elected. Just you know, FaceTime. Maybe at the level of hi, how are you? I am Fulan. Just the guy knows your name. If you at the 50,000 level, you probably have spent some time alone together. Have, you know of each other's concerns. Know of each other's concerns. So I'm thinking a villa, a holiday trip or something you have spent together and really talked. So, and to make sure you're on the same page before the motherfucker donates 50 grand to your campaign. And as you go up the chain and you reach the level of saying that, okay, the guy who donates $50 million to your campaign, I guess, you know, he has access to. He is you, basically, because you owe the motherfucker $50 million, or $1 million, or $5 million. You owe the motherfucker a big chunk of money. So you have to listen to the motherfucker. Or the motherfucker is, next time the motherfucker is going to invest that money in your opponent. It's as simple as that. You know, if you recognize, the motherfucker will stay around. But if you don't recognize, the motherfucker is going to, fund your opponent next time. So it doesn't matter, red or blue, they're both getting paid by the same guy. It's just that sometimes this guy, the motherfucker, works a better deal with the red team, and sometimes they work a better deal with the blue team. Alternating and intervals, and a little here and a little there, but every time the guy who's donating $5 million to the such campaign has a lot of face time, a lot of what is our mission, that I have invested $50 million on this, or $5 million on this. What is the mission that we want this money to carry out? And no wonder it keeps going sideways. It's because it's the biggest donations of first of all, let's put it this way: because of national security, the most advantageous industry in every country, the most advantageous industry in any country is its defense industry. That's the most advantageous, because of its national security. They don't share information with the civilians, and therefore they're always light years ahead of the civilians in their own country. So because of that, these guys still, even when if nothing else flourishes in a land, the sword makers are doing fine. If nothing else grows on the land, the sword makers will be doing fine. If nothing else grows on the land, swords will be made, because people find reason to fight over dead land, which is what more or less what West Asia is. It's dry desert, dead land, which its best product is fucking zaytun. It's fucking olives. The best product. Land so luscious that its fucking native product is olives and dates. That means dry as hell, shitty, hot, arid climate with the fucking clay dirt, and they're still killing each other over it. So the sword makers will be fine. Doesn't matter how bad is the land, and doesn't matter how little people have to fight each other over. The sword maker will be fine. His business will always be going. But the point is this: the sword maker in Uncle Sam's land, I love you, Uncle Sam, love you. In Uncle Sam's land, the sword makers is one of the last businesses because of national security reasons. The sword makers have not been outsourced. It would have been, it would have been, difficult to explain why you have, Chinese made missiles mounted on Uncle Sam's ships. It would have been hard to explain. It would be difficult to explain. So it wouldn't happen. So you don't outsource the information that the military has. You don't outsource that. We understand. But the problem is when your campaign system is based on donation, the political system is based on money, which is based on donations, and if the last industry that is standing, that its resources and its information cannot be outsourced, remaining and still remaining, flourishing, is the weapons industry. So therefore, the weapons industry is paying for a lot of these extended political foreplay. That is like 3 years foreplay for presidential electioning, and the 2 year foreplay for senatorial election, and 1 year foreplay for election, that which costs a lot of money. Who's paying these monies? One of the few last businesses really flourishing at the tip of the innovation is the military, in the military defense industry. And unfortunately, so defense industry is one of the last flourishing industries that any country would have. But then this defense industry has paid a lot of campaign money to the politicians, and they also have put up shop in all these politicians' states. So the biggest employer, the biggest and most highest paying employer of the town is Lockheed Martin. Now this town can be in blue state Vermont or in red state Texas. If Lockheed Martin has a branch there and is employing 1,500 people there and is paying so much in taxes and so much in campaign donations, as any legitimate business can, at this level we are at the Ferengi level. We are the Ferengi. So my non-nerd friends, look up Ferengi. It's good for you. So the point is this: the defense industry, the industries in defense, the defense industry has been the last one paying all the bills. The defense industry has been the last one paying all the bills, and when you make the election process, for profit, you make election a for-profit institution. That is to say, a lot of people need to make some kind of income through this process. I mean, if they make it illegal that nobody shall make any income from election process, nobody shall make any profit from election process, period. Make this into a law. Overnight, all donations stops, all advertisements stops, everything stops, because anything you're saying that anybody making a dime on election is illegal. The dime is illegal. In that case, you will have a democracy. That means the most influence you have over people is a pamphlet that you send alongside with your opponent pamphlet through the regular mail system. The pamphlet goes, it says, if this guy wins, does this, and if this guy wins, does these. And you put these to a side and you choose, and then you watch through the years of his election how many of those things have been done and haven't been done, and what has been the result. Most importantly, the promises made, promises kept, but the result is shit. That's a failure. It's sort of like, you know, you can't promise, oh, we're going to fuck Mexico up the ass, and then actually do fuck Mexico up the ass. Whether making that promise was wrong, executing it was even more wrong. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes they say politicians say no when they mean maybe. They say yes when they mean maybe, is because that's it. They make some promises because they see the electorate maybe is not very educated, so they make some promises, but they know in their heart that they can't execute these promises because they would be mad. The point is this. One of the last flourishing industry, which is the defense industry, has paying a lot of money to these political campaigns, which has, you know, become a legal matter, and everybody's okay with it. And yes, money can be donated to your favorite candidate. So they pay these top sums of money, $50 million, $5 million, $10 million, and they get, you know, the candidate gets to, you know, spend time, you know, months with them, years with them. They were co-workers, they were co-business owners, and now one of the business owner goes into politics, and the business is still, once they come out of politics, they again go back the same business. And a lot of these times you see these businesses are defense related. They come out of the business, their body is still in the business, they go into politics and, you know, wet their beak in politics, and if they find a way to the top, and they know that these two know each other, so that's how, you know, the campaign donations and the objective becomes the same. The objective becomes, how can we sell more arms? How can we make more money? It's a capitalist system. Its objective is money. So the defense, the two friends, the politician and the defense industry producer, I don't even care what, defense in the producer who makes most of his profit from defensive production. They a friend, $50 million donations, sit down together, you know, go take vacations together, so we are both aware we have the same problem. Or if you're not aware your problem is my problem, then I will fund your opponent next time. So, you know, as long as they are on the same page, whether you like what is, you know, what is being signed into law or you don't, as long as the defense contractor is happy, everybody's happy. The politician is happy, and that's all that it counts, because I don't pay to his campaign, but that guy just paid to his campaign $50 million. Of course, you know, they know each other. Of course if they know each other, or they like to know each other. Anyway, you're pretty soon are going to find out that the guy who paid the top dollars, suddenly the politician is singing his tune. I mean, I would. Somebody, you know, pays so I can get some powerful, cushy job, and I would definitely, if that person is the main reason I'm sitting in that seat, definitely his concerns are going to be my concerns. I don't care what Joe Schmo thinks. His concerns are not my concerns.